You are welcome back to this Microsoft Excel for Beginners tutorial series. In this section, we are going to look at formatting cells and data in Excel. We will be using Excel 2021. My name is Pat from PrimeVoice Academy. Let's get started. We are going to open Excel, the document we have been using. The very first thing we are going to learn today is changing font size, style, and color. If you look at this worksheet, you will notice that the size is font 14. I have increased it in our previous lesson. If you haven't watched it, please go back and take the lesson. Okay, now I want to increase it further so that you will learn this particular lesson. What I will do now is to highlight. Immediately you highlight by holding the mouse button and drag. You then go to the font size and choose your desired font. You can see as I move the mouse pointer, the size increases. Okay, for this I am going to use 20. If I want, I can drag these points in order to increase the column width. I hope you understand. I can as well double click here and it will fit to the size automatically. Okay, then if you want to change the style of your text, you still have to do the same thing. You just highlight, come to this font type and choose any style of your choice. It's as easy as that. Okay, remember you can double click here in order to get the actual column width of your text content. And if your text content is too long that it can't fit in this particular column, there is a way to wrap it, but you will need to hold on and continue to watch the video before we get to that place in a minute. The next thing we will need to learn is how to color this text. It is still simple. Just highlight, then you come to this place where we have font color. You click on it and choose any color of your choice. Okay, if you would like to change the background color, you do that from this area where we have fill color. So I can choose any color of my choice using the fill color option. So this is how to format cell or data in Microsoft Excel. The next lesson we are going to look at is formatting numbers. That is, if you want to format your number to have currency or percentage or even date. Let me delete this thing so that you will appreciate this. I'll highlight, press delete from the keyboard. So for currency, what I will do is to highlight this area, or you highlight the entire column. That is, if you intend to continue increasing the number of this content. So it depends on your choice. For me, I'm going to highlight only this content. Then I will now come to this place where we'll have general. From here, I will then choose currency. Okay, so if it is date that you are typing, you will have to choose short date or long date depending on your choice. If it is about time, we'll have option for time here, and it can also be percentage. So it depends on what we are doing. So for this lesson, we are going to use currency. Immediately I do that, it will add $sign for me at the back of these figures. I hope you understand. And if it is not dollar that you want to use, you still have the option to change it from here. Under this number group, you come to this place where we have dollar. Click on the drop down arrow. You will see other currencies. You see pounds, euro, Chinese yen, and all of that. You can as well add more accounting formats from this option. I hope you understand. The next lesson we are going to learn is formatting borders. I would like to bring to your notice that if you print this worksheet as it is now, it's not going to have any table border. Let me go to print preview so that you will see what I'm talking about. So if I go to file and click on print, from here you can see the print preview that there is no line, that is table, in this particular document. So if you want to do that, what you will need to do is to highlight the entire table or the range of cells that you want to add borders to. After the highlighting, you will now come to this place where we'll have borders. Look at it here. From here, you click and choose how you want it, whether you want it only at the bottom, at the top, left, right, or whatever you want. I am going to use all borders. Okay, immediately I click on all borders, it will add this table border for me. Now let us go back to print so that we will see the print preview that our worksheet now has table. By this way, if you print this document, it will have borders. Okay, you add table by adding borders. The next unit of lesson we are going to learn is aligning cells. I've done this severally, but let's take it as a lesson. If you look at this worksheet, you will notice that we'll have some numbers aligned to the center while others are aligned to the left. So by default, numbers will usually align to the right while text will align to the left. Except in the case where you don't want it, you can now choose where you want it to be. For this, you just highlight and then choose whether you want it to be at the left, right, or center. You can see the options from here. Now, if we will have heading, let me add heading to this. Like now, I want to type something at the top. You remember how to do that. You just right click from this place and then click insert. So it will provide a space for us to type at the top. So I am going to call this daily sales book. So with this daily sales book, if I want to center it, it's not going to be at the center because there are different cells or columns. So for you to do that, you are going to merge 1, 2, 3, 4 cells as one in order to center it. So what we need to do is to highlight the range of cells. Okay, make sure you highlight only one row. Then after that, you will now come to this option and click on merge and center. Immediately you do that, it will merge the whole cells as one, then center the highlighted text. You can go on to increase the size of the text or even change the fonts. Okay, so this is how to perform text alignment, whether you want it to go to the left, center, or right. The next lesson we are going to learn is wrapping text. Take for instance, you have a text that is very long, longer than the required. For example, this serial number, I want to write it in full. So I will say serial number. So you can see that it is too long. What I will need to do is to wrap it so that it will be contained in one column. To do this, I'll just click on it because it is only one cell. When it is clicked, then I will go to wrapping text. So from here, you see wrap text here. Once you click on it, you will notice that our text is wrapped. So I can move this column a bit in order to shape it the way I want it. Currently is at the bottom. You can change it to come to the center or to the top depending on how you want it. You can decide to now make everything to be at the center. You understand? Okay. Also note that you can decide to change the direction of a text. For example, this particular text, when clicked upon, I can decide to change the direction by using this, that is angle counterclockwise or angle clockwise or vertical text. Let me click on vertical text. It will change this to this. I can as well change it to text up. It will be in this form. Okay, these are all under text formatting and alignment. Then the next lesson we are going to learn is sorting and filter data. Okay, for me to do that, let me go to sheet 2. I have prepared a worksheet for us to do that. First of all, we'll have list of countries here. I'll highlight to make it bold. Now at this time, I want to sort it so that they will appear in alphabetical order. Okay, so what I will do is to highlight the entire text. If I click here, it will highlight the entire text. Then I will move to top right where we'll have sort and filter. Once I click on it, I will choose A to Z. look at this thing again, you will notice that this Zimbabwe will now come to the bottom, where Australia will now come to the top. Okay, so let's do that. I will click, it will just sort it automatically. Also remember that it will also reconcile the numbers. You understand? Okay, that is how to sort data. And if it is numbers that you are sorting, let me go back to this sheet 1. Assuming I want to get the highest number here, I will highlight. Remember, this one is the total of this, so let me delete, then highlight. After highlighting, I'll come to this sort. So because I want to get the largest number, I want the largest number to be at the top. You can now see, because the content of what we selected is figures, is now asking us largest to smallest. Is no longer A to Z. Do you see that? So if I click this now, it will ask me if I want to expand the selection so that it will also be the same thing with this text here. So I will say okay, and we now have 450 as the largest or the highest amount here. And finally, we are going to learn renaming and deleting sheets. Now that we have like 4 sheets here, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. If you open this worksheet, you may make mistake. You will have to go through each of them to remember what the contents are. So in order to avoid this, you will need to give them correct name. How do you do this? You just right click and then click on rename. Here where we have rename, you now give it a better name, daily sales. So instead of sheet 1, is now known as daily sales. And if there is any sheet that you don't want to use entirely, you can delete it. Assuming I added another sheet here, which is sheet 5, don't forget that you can drag sheets and move them around from one location to another. Okay, so if you don't need it again, you just also right click and then click on delete. Immediately that sheet will be deleted. And that brings us to the end of this tutorial. Remember to subscribe as a way of supporting PrimeVoice Academy. Like the video so that YouTube will show it to many others. Until next time, keep learning.